बैया ना मरोड़ो हटो नटखट कुंवर कन्हाए बलिहारे तो पे जा।
I am very happy and honored to have celebrity image consultant and relationship coach Sonya LaRae grace our Gosh podcast on the new series, The Goddess in Us project. I am so happy, guys. I just want to give you a little intro to Sonya before we jump into this amazing interview. So Sonya LaRae is also a philanthropist, raising awareness and hundreds of thousands of dollars for a cause that is so dear to her heart, leukemia. She's a fierce businesswoman to be reckoned with. She's sought after from high-ranking clients from all over the world for her Shark Tank effect in her consulting and PR agency. I must highlight her interior design company, which has been featured in various home design magazines. I'm telling you, Sonya has that eye for creativity, design, and art, but she also has that voice. Yes, Sonya LaRae is a fabulous professional singer. She has been featured on many songs that you guys know and have heard on the radio. And I'm telling you, there's more. Sonya has this no-nonsense strategy to her business, clients, projects, and in her life. So in this episode, we get to hear and learn from her how she taps into her goddess power to affect her life, career, and everything that she touches in a big transformative way. So let's begin. Hi, and welcome to another edition of The Goddess Project featured on goshabout.com. I'm your host, Najaam Lee. I'm super excited today. So before I jump myself, let me get into this part. If you haven't subscribed already, please click the link and follow. Today we are super excited to have a special guest who is a major player in the fashion industry. You have seen her work on the red carpet. She's the top image consultant to the stars in fashion, movies, and music, plus so many more. Also a well-known interior designer and life coach, relationship coach. She is the top female business consultant. She should be on Shark Tank, y'all, but she isn't. Please help me welcome my beautiful friend, my beautiful coach, my beautiful sister, Sonya LaRae to the show.
I'm so excited to be here with you. This is nice.
Awesome. So welcome, Sonya. I am super excited to talk to you and get the juices flowing about being a goddess. And so I want to inform everybody today what a goddess is. And in the media recently, we have seen a lot of highlight of the goddess and spirituality, especially with the latest by Beyonce's Grammy performance, introducing the Yoruba goddess Oshan, as well as she also showed Mother Mary and the Indian goddess Kala. It wasn't her first time doing this, but this performance made a great memory or a speaking moment for everybody to like Google, search. There was this trend going on. So the Goddess series was a preparation of months ahead for what I was doing before her performance, which showed an alignment happening, you know, this tapping into this feminine power and really looking inwards a lot more. But, you know, still a lot of people are still looking outwards as well. So I really want us to get into talking about this goddess energy, this energy that's within everyone. And so I really want to talk to you and ask you, what's your experience? And from seeing, you know, Beyonce's performance a couple months ago, what was your take on it?
Well, you know what? I have to say, sometimes people don't. It's the metaphoric sense that is so empowering and powerful. I thought it was beautiful because it was a brilliance of showing her bringing forth her life in a full circle pattern. from her mother introducing her to now she presenting herself and being pregnant with twins was just powerful.
Right.
And I loved it. And I thought she looked grand in her presentation as well. Because that is half of it when you're a goddess or you have that power in you like that. It's emanated. It just kind of radiates from you.
Right, right. So it's something that's just radiating. You can tell she was like aligned within herself. There's something that she found and you can see it. Like she found herself within. And I think that's what really made the performance so beautiful. So I want to get in deeper for our audience to get to know you and to know what you do and who you are. Please give us a little bit of background of who you are and how did you become to be such this powerful woman that we know today?
Well, okay, I'm a multifaceted kind of person, and I always feel like if you think of an onion that has so many different layers, that's how we are as people. My name is Sonya LaRae, and LaRae means the sun or the king of the sun. And my mother has always felt that I had such an energy about me. And I think it's kind of like placed me in a position of where I need to be. I started off at first in music as being a singer and having a true vision of what I wanted to be as an artist, not that what they wanted me to be. And then I went through kind of a metamorphosis all over again. I had a situation where I went in for a minor procedure and ended up being paralyzed, which changed my life drastically. But I could have sat there and I could have made this woe is me moment, but it was a moment for me to look at myself and reinvent myself too. And so that's what I did. I reinvented myself. I came back in and I had always a passion for fashion. I've had it since I was a young girl, from designing my own prom dresses to my girlfriend's prom dress to just styling different things for even full banquet events for my mother at a very young age. So it was always in me, but I never nurtured it like I got to do.
Right.
And so in 1999, I just took the bull by the horn and I just kind of just fully took that leap. And that's the thing. People don't realize you got to jump to be successful.
Right, right. I love that. So just tell us a bit about, you said you started in music. I know that's like really tapping in to something deep within. Were you writing music or were you around family or friends that were musicians that really connected you to your own voice?
Well, I grew up in music because of my father. My father was one of the great Latin jazz bassist, and his name was Victor Venegas, and he played with so many of the greats in this industry, from Tito Puente to Celia Cruz, Mongo Santa Maria to Watermelon Man. People know him for Watermelon Man, for West Side Story, Carlos Santana. So these were my influences from a young age, and having that Latin root and that base in my life of that music is what has driven my family and my heart for a long time. So I have a deep passion for it. I write poetry, and so I always sang, but I never really let anyone hear my voice. I was a violist. I played the viola, and I was very good at it, but nobody knew I could sing.
Wow.
And my school had a talent show, and they thought I was going to play, and lo and behold, I sang.
Wow.
And that kind of started everything. Because that was the first time my dad really got to hear my voice. That was the first time my mom, and they were like, wait a minute.
What? Like, wait, where did she come from?
Exactly. But in turn, that moment of where you're one of these type of kids, I've always been a very deep child, where I would sit quietly, I would write, or I would think about things. My mom would find me in my room, like spread eagle out on the floor, just laying there looking up at the ceiling. And she would be like, well, what are you doing? I said, just thinking, you know, and I was always in tune with my thoughts and my feelings from a young age.
Wow.
And how I expressed myself even. And so my mom just nurtured that. She didn't always make it about books and this, that, and the other. Even though I was a very good student, I was a straight A student, my mother gave me channels and outlets for that energy.
Right.
And I so appreciated that.
So did you look at your mom as someone very powerful, a tremendous person that, looked within her own self? Did she give you that, or did you receive that from other women in your family?
No, my mother and my grandmother were my everything. They were my eagles in my life. Literally, if you think about an eagle, when they're teaching their young how to fly, and they throw them out of that nest, but they come right under them and they catch them to bring them back up again so that wind and that air can catch their wings again so they can soar. That's what they were for me. And my grandmother passed away when I was about 9 years old. But the things that she imparted to me, I never forgot. Like, she would say to me, one monkey doesn't stop a show. And I would think to myself, who are these monkeys? Right. But then as I grew up, I got what she was saying. I got what she was saying when you were empowered by your own energy. You don't need someone to reassure you that you are great.
Right.
And those are things that I got to have from her. My mom constantly put that into me of like, you are who you are because of the pathways that you choose. So these were my role models. To this day, my mother is my role model. She is someone that I look up to and I think so much of because she is what embodies selflessness.
Right. It's so interesting and so great to hear that you say your mom is your role model. In today's society, I think that has shifted a lot. You don't hear it in that perspective. It's a lot about, no, I did this on my own. I learned all this on my own. I didn't have, a mom or a grandmother or aunt or anyone around me like that. I've heard this replica,
When you hear people say that, you have to think of it in a way. It's so funny because I do a motivational post every Tuesday. Okay. And today the word that I did was stoic. And people seem to think that being stoic is such a great gravity of a pull in your life. But what that teaches you is an unhealthy balance because no man is an island. And if you have an island that is not protected all the way around, it erodes very quickly. Right. For those that are so-called self-made, there's no such thing as self-made. Even if you did not have a mother or a father, you had someone and you had something in your life that motivated you to move forward from where you were.
Right.
So I understand what you're saying about that.
Yeah, it's really refreshing to hear, and I really want to for others in our audience to really understand what this is like. It doesn't have to be someone that's in your family if you don't have it. A role, someone that you can look up to, or they played a major role in your life if you don't have family. It could be your teacher. It could be someone at work. It could be anyone. It could be someone that you admired that you read about in a book or who you saw on television. I mean, I remember like a couple of years ago, I remember a young lady who really was an orphan. And she happened to be sitting in their rec room, and Oprah Winfrey came on television. And whatever Oprah was talking about at that time, it spoke to that young woman, and it moved her to go and do things differently for herself. But that was a person who she looked up to that made that imprint for her. Right. Exactly. So tell me, what does the word goddess mean to you, and do you see yourself as a goddess?
Well, it's so funny you say that because, I'll tell you the truth. Because most people who know me know I will tell you that I will tell you, well, I'm average. And other people who know me say that is a lie. But this is the thing. I don't feel that the word goddess is a negative thing. I think it's empowering. I per se maybe not use that for myself, but I do feel that I am someone who is enriched with much to give.
Right.
And my thing is to impart whatever it is. When I came into this industry, I mean, I had no one that helped me. So the bags, the bruises, the falls, the mishaps, the stupid judgment calls that I made, I did them.
Right.
But now, where I am in my life and in my career, that I can sit back and say, this is good. You know, I'm in this industry now 18 plus years and moving strong and doing well. And now, for me, I get to help someone else instead of them falling and making those silly mistakes. So for me, a goddess is a giver. So if that's what that is, then that's me.
I think you got the money on that one. Definitely think, and I see that within you, that you are truly walking in the greatness of a goddess, you know, and every day you give of yourself so much, even when you have not even the energy in you, you still give, you know. So many people think goddess means, especially according to the dictionary, that it's this female deity with extraordinary beauty and charm on the outside. It's always something physical that is always described as a goddess.
It don't hurt to be a little cute, though.
You know, it don't hurt. But if you don't have a little cuteness, you have that power within, you know?
Exactly. But you want to know something? This is the funny thing. When we say that, well, you don't have that cuteness. Let me tell you something. There's something beautiful about every person. They may not be physically gorgeous, but if you look at that person, they may have beautiful skin.
Right.
They have beautiful eyes, beautiful lips. Something about that person is beautiful.
Right.
You know, it may not even be an outward thing. It could be something from in them that if you just took 5 seconds, you would see that light blind you.
Right.
And so I never get caught up on the outside of people, because I've met some really gorgeous people. I mean, gorgeous. But all in all, they're
on the inside. Right. We met a plenty of those.
Yes, we have.
How does being with this energy of the goddess influence your business, influence your career? Let us know how do you utilize that energy?
Well, let me just tell you this. It fuels everything. Do you know my company's tagline is where everything is fabulous? So for that to be my tagline, I have got to strive for that energy to be just so. Because we're making everything for you. I don't care what you have going on with yourself. When you come to La Paz and when you come to Sonya LaRae, because see, my clients, they get a special energy from my company because I make sure my team is fully invested and vested in each client we take. We don't just take anybody and everybody, because we are invested in our clients.
Right.
We want to embody everything about my slogan. When I built this company and I named it La Paz, it means the peace. And what is more peaceful in a goddess realm than to have that energy of calm and bring an energy that is calm to others?
Right.
So for me, it's everything for my company. What keeps it moving, keeps us striving for the greatness, keeps us pushing year to year to strive for bigger and better things. It's the energy that I bring in. I don't just hire people because, oh, you look good on paper. No, you have to look good from inside out. I take my time. I don't move fast with things.
Yeah, everyone's on this hustle thing of moving fast, getting everything done quick, move. But with the energy of a goddess or that power within yourself, you know, it's okay to like slow it down, really, really look at the goals that you have set forward, and also creating that team that has that same vision with you to achieve those goals that you have set, you know. And I think so many times we rush and get all these people in and they're basically no good for you, you know?
Yeah, because it's about nurturing. And when you nurture something, that takes time. When you plant a tree, it takes years before it becomes the size that it gets.
Yeah,
And
absolutely
so for
right.
me, I've allowed myself to grow, and now I feel like I'm a beautiful elm or a weeping willow because I can bend and I can shape into what I need to shape into because I have that flexibility of that nurturing. And that's what it means when you're doing and walking in your greatness or walking as a goddess per se. You know, you have to know your energy in that moment to stop.
Right. So tell us a little bit, like, what do you do, or what is something that you do to honor yourself? Whether it's weekly or daily, so that you can tap into and hone that energy in order to go forward and continue to accomplish your goals. What are some things that you do to honor yourself?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a big believer in affirmation.
Awesome.
As you do know, I preach that all the time.
Yes. Yes.
And anybody who would get in my car or would come to my home into my wardrobe area, they know that there's like some sort of sticky up for the week that has an affirmation up there that is kind of redirecting my energy. And the other thing is, I'm starting to get the whole object of 2017 for me was more so of a reflection for Sonya LaRae. Because I do so much for everything and everyone. I never really stopped to do for me. So now I make myself on a bi-weekly, I must stop. I go get my nails done. I go and I take my little butterfly and I get her nails done with me. And I need to impart that to her because I'm her role model.
Right.
And so she is taken by everything that I do. And so I want to teach her how to nurture herself so she can be whole and have that embodiment of her own. And I mean, she as a little 5-year-old gets it. And it's incredible what you see from her.
Yes.
It just blows me away, and it makes me excited because, you know, she is like, Mom, you're a boss. And I was like, well, I'm not just a boss. She's like, no, you are. You're a boss because you know why? You know what people need, and you know what I need, and it's wonderful. And to hear that just empowers me to go on to bigger and better.
Right. There's a spark there. I'm going to tell you, little kids, they can see beyond. Those little eyes can see and really understand. And I think, as grown-ups, we don't really give them credit where credit is due because they're, like, with my own daughter, like, she came into my life. She has... Thank you. She has guided me and really helped me to really find my own self-esteem and confidence within. I mean, I've had it, but at some point you lose it sometimes. And something about her of able to decipher and see clearly is essential. And I think kids have this remarkable eye of seeing right beyond. They may speak direct, but sometimes that directness is so what's needed. And too many times, parents may, oh, no, don't say that. Oh, no, it's not right to do, or, whatever. But
because they're not blinded by the smoke and mirrors yet. It's all pure. So they see the inner true you. Like, you can even see babies that will smile freely for some people and just kind of look at others like, oh.
Yes.
Because they see the real love in people's eyes. So I speak to people and I look them in their eyes because I feel that is your window, and that allows me to know a lot of things. And I think because also in the business that I'm in as being a certified relationship lifestyle coach and having psychology under my belt, I feel that it tells you so much about people. The truth lies behind the eyes. It's the window to your soul.
Yes. It's the clearest window. You can't hide. No matter what you try to do, those eyes cannot close the door. You see right in.
Yeah. It's powerful.
It's very powerful. The other question I wanted to ask you, returning to this, is with, finding and really honing that energy within yourself. What is your goddess purpose or your purpose in the world from that perspective of self to now to what you offer to the world?
I feel it is to impart some wisdom. I don't feel that I've gotten to this point and the different things that has happened in my life. Like I was telling you in the beginning that I was in a wheelchair and I was literally paralyzed for 4.5 years. That made me have such compassion. It changed me as a person. It made me realize there was more to everything than me. Because when you're young, it's all about you.
Yeah.
And it's not that anymore for me. My thing is that I want to empower others. So by me doing as a business consulting, it helps me to really, help others to tap into that energy. So I think my calling at this time is by guiding others through different areas in their life.
So when you're like working with a lot of these celebrities, like you work with so many different types of celebrities, right? And I know you come across a whole ton of, or various types of attitudes, mindsets, egos, all kinds of different, characteristics. What is something that's so similar, even though they've accomplished a lot of fame and material wealth? What is something that you see that they haven't accomplished and really should work on?
Humility.
Ooh, girl, explain.
Humility. Because literally, when you embody and you understand what humility really is and what it's about, I don't care how huge your career is or how big you are small in the eyes of everything. Most people are not humble enough to realize that they're where they are is because of the people who have supported them, who have loved them, who have brought them to this platform and to this pinnacle in their life. And if you have that humility, it keeps you leveled and it keeps you balanced in your life. For me, I never want to get so heady that I feel that, I'm so great in this. And I mean, I'm a pretty doggone intelligent woman, and I'm powerful at what I do, but I also know that my humility, and I'm grateful to God that He has given me my abilities. I'm grateful for my mother and my grandmother and all those that are in my lifeline that have made me who I am. And if I forget to look at that, I will forget to be just humble in everything that I do. And I never want to be that person.
Right. It's so tremendous. And it goes inside even with recently Kendrick Lamar dropped that song called Humble, Sit Down and Be Humble. And it's so interesting that you said humility, because that is one thing a lot of people don't get to see. Like if they are humble, you see so much of the ego, about the money, about the glitz and glamour of everything, that you wonder, well, really, how are you within yourself,
Bragging, I look at a lot of times that these certain ones, they're bragging, they're talking about their jewels, they're talking about this, which in turn makes these younger ones, like these kids that are in school now, they want to have all this,
right.
But they don't instill what it takes. It takes hard work. It takes diligence. They make it all about, we got the money, and they throw in money here and there and everything else. But if you really look at it, 9 times out of 10, those ones that are so braggadocious, financially, they're not where they're supposed to be, because they lack that humility and that wisdom to realize that it's not about that.
Right. What would you say what advice would you give to young girls today who may be listening to this, or, just really need some, good advice about tapping into their goddess, tapping into their own inner power, not being so influenced and so, taken back by others or allowing others to take away their power, which we see a lot going on with that, this type of demeaning or, removing one's voice, not to speak, but only to be looked at, including like our president, that we have today. What would your advice be to young girls?
I have three majors that I would impart to them.
Okay.
One is, first, learn who you are. And that means that you must really look at yourself. Know what you like, what you don't like, what you stand for from what you will not stand for. Secondly, be open to communication with your parent, your mother, your counselor, someone that you know will direct you. Not tell you what you want to hear, because your friends are going to tell you what you want to hear. Mm-hmm. But someone who is going to guide you where you need to be guided. Even when it's a no, hear what they're saying and why they're saying it. And thirdly, never allow the next person's reality to become your story. Because you're not that person.
I love it. I love it. The other question I have is to adults. We have a lot of adults listening to this project. And what would your advice be to adults? Because, they've already passed that stage of childhood, have also, gotten into and set in their ways. But what would your advice be about tapping into their power, their goddess, and just really making a change and seeing that they also, too, can make a change if they really want to?
Oh, my goodness. I need a whole nother hour for this. This is what I want to say. Okay, this is what I would say. This is a couple of key things. And ladies, even fellas, if you're listening, pay really close attention. Close attention. You are able to change your spot. You are not set in stone with how you are. If you want to be something other than what you are, and it's for a better good of knowing to reach out for it, find out what you need to do it. But do not just drop the ball and say, well, this is who I am, and settle for it. Next thing, ladies, allow men to be men with you. Ooh. You are not hunters. You are not given that strength to hunt. Even if you are a single mother, you are not a hunter, but you are a lioness. And as a lioness, you teach your babies what it means to get down to hunt. But a man is a hunter when they're ahead of your house and they direct you. Doesn't mean that you're the neck and you spin the head. Does not mean that.
Right.
It means that they are allowed to walk in your greatness so they can celebrate your accomplishments with you. And if he does not uplift you in that way, then you need to reevaluate what is wrong in the relationship.
Woo!
That is something that I can impart and say. And like I said, I would need a whole other hour for other things. But those are the two biggest things that I would say.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to bring you back on, Sonya LaRae. We're going to have to bring you back on. That was a juicy nugget. If no one gets the whole thing today, you're going to get that nugget at the last. And I am so appreciative. That was hot.
I am so excited over this, and I'm so excited for other women, other people. And let me tell you, young men, to hear this, because it's not about a goddess that people think it's a woman thing.
Right.
No, it's an energy and a strength that people have within them. And ladies, you have it in you. You don't have to be afraid of it. You just have to know how to hone in on it and just let it ride. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hear more from Sonya LaRae, get to know her, learn about her, learn what she does, check her out, where can we find more about you so we can go click right now?
First of all, join our Instagram page because you get to see a whole lot of us there on Instagram. Like I said, you get those great jewels of our Inspirational Tuesday that is only on our Instagram page that I impart every single Tuesday personally, myself. No one else does it but me. And we're at www.instagram.com/LaPazImaging, and that's LaPazImaging, because we can imagine everything that we put forward. So we want you to join us there. Our website will be up in the next 3 weeks. We'll be back online again, that you'll be able to go to www.lapazimaging.com, as well as our Facebook page. And, if you want to, send me a direct message, you can always email us. And Najaam, you have our emails as well.
Yes. Oh gosh, thank you so much, Sonya LaRae. Thank you for coming on the show today. Our new project called The Goddess Project. The series is all about tapping into the power within you. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. It's really honing that power, becoming the true being that you are, that greatness that you are, and walk in that greatness. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. We are at goshabout.com, which is GOSHAbout.com, and we gosh about a whole bunch of things from entertainment to philanthropy. So run with us, work with us, subscribe there. And also we're on Instagram. We're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter. And again, thank you so much for joining us today. We're super excited to have Sonya LaRae as our guest today. And we will tune in next time on The Goddess Project. Bye, guys.